Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Into the Weekend with BetDSI show for NFL Week 5. Brent, of course, is the headlines manager at DSI Sportsbook and takes some of his valuable time out of his schedule to do this call with us every week and tell us about the notable public and sharp action he's taken over the week as of Friday, which is when we do this call. Every week, Brent is very busy, but he does this call with us every week. Thanks so much, Brent. Really appreciate it. Welcome back to the show.
Glad to be with you, Peter.
All right, the first game I have to ask you about, of course, the biggest game of the week. Everyone's talking about it, wondering about it, and some are betting it. The Pats and the Browns, right? The Pats off of a shutout loss. Tom Brady's back, double-digit favorite at Cleveland. I'm guessing that the public is significantly favoring the Pats here as far as sharp action. Couldn't even hazard a guess. What can you tell us about this game, Brent?
Yeah, I mean, the Pats and the Browns is just like, I mean, if you asked me like 5 weeks ago how the action would be on this game, I could tell you the exact same thing as it is right now. Mm-hmm. It's fugly is what we'll call it. Wager count is almost 10-1 on the Patriots. So it's huge. Now, I mean, if again, yesterday the line was 10.5. Right now we're 10 minus 15, and the reason for the movement in the line is sharp action. So we kind of, we're in a decent position in that we know we've got sharp action now on Cleveland plus 10.5, minus 110. Right now the Patriots are minus 10, minus 115, and I know my wager count is almost 10-1 favoring New England. So it's a good spot for us in that I've got so much public money on New England, and when you count the parties and teasers and stuff like that, it just gets astronomical. But ton of money on the Patriots, no surprise at all. And I did get sharp action on Cleveland. So when I look at my wager count, as I said, crazy, almost like 10-1 favoring the Patriots. When I looked at my money, I'm dead even on this game. So it's. I mean, we obviously like when the sharps tip their hat as early as possible during the week. So I mean, going into like the weekend that okay, if I need sharp action, I know I'm getting it back at that number.
Right. So this is like the perfect NFL action situation for you to have. Like the public huge on one side. Sharp action having come in, tipped their hand, and you still got 2 days to manipulate the line and massage your betting numbers, right?
Yeah, I mean, Sunday afternoon I'll have a better answer for you. But as of right now, yeah, it's a good spot for us, and we definitely like knowing, that we're, like I said, we know we're going to get Patriots money from the public. It's just foregone conclusion. If you want to talk about the total, it's almost like it's almost like 5-1 in terms of the over as well. Any surprise there? No, not at all. People just bet the Patriots, they bet the over.
All right, and we know that you've told us that the Sharps have been on the Redskins, I think, every week so far, all 4 of the first 4 weeks of the regular season, and now they're a road underdog to Baltimore. I could see the Sharps being on the Skins again, although the line movement hasn't indicated that, at least from what I can tell. What can you tell us about Washington and Baltimore, Brent?
I can tell you that it's probably the least bet game of the week, and I can't tell you why. It's just a weird. I mean, maybe the line is just so good, people are scratching their heads saying, "Wow, I don't even know how to bet this game." But yeah, I've got my wager count is dead even. My money's almost dead even. It's just like it's almost like much ado about nothing with this game. Right now I've got Baltimore as a 4-point favorite, 4 minus 05, so the Redskins are plus 4, minus 115. Total's 45.5. Again, my wager count on the total is almost 3-1 to the over. My money's not too bad in terms of the total at all. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird game because you kind of expected, like, you look at the game and on paper it's like, it looks like a decent matchup. I'm sure people will be involved in it, get good two-way action. And right now, you could say I got good two-way action, but it's almost no action.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of surprising in that respect.
All right, so the Sharps like Baltimore the first 4 weeks, but as of right now, not taking them in Week 5 as a road dog of more than a field goal at Baltimore. And then I want to ask about Atlanta-Denver. Now, this line has taken a lot of movement since it opened. I saw it open at 6, went quickly down to 4.5. Then I saw it get bet all the way back up to 6, market-wide, and then back all the way back down to 4.5. I know they say 5 is a dead number, but a 1.5-point move on an NFL game is pretty significant. So it must have been a big two-way action on this game, right, Brent?
Yeah, I mean, dead numbers are only dead numbers until they land. Then you're like, wow, I didn't see that one coming. I mean, Atlanta's been getting a lot of support just because obviously they're putting up a lot of points, and it's kind of surprising me when they got the new coach over from Seattle and stuff like that. I mean, defense was supposed to be what was going to kind of drive the team and stuff like that, but they're putting up a lot of points, and now they're on the road at Denver. Now, right now, I have Denver as a 5-point favorite. They're actually 5 minus 05, so Atlanta is plus 5 minus 115, and I do have sharp action on this game when the line went up to 6. The Sharps did grab Atlanta plus to 6 on the road at Denver. My wager count on this game is almost dead even both ways. My money because I've got, the Sharps have deeper pockets. I do have more money on Atlanta, but it's not, as crazy. It's almost, about 2-1 favoring Atlanta, which, might sound big, but it's not too bad in terms of an NFL chart right now. So sharp action Atlanta, and the number was +6 where they took it. And again, like Denver, the quarterback situation, I mean, it looks like they're going to be going with a rookie again. So it's going to be an interesting situation for sure. And Atlanta's been able to put up a lot of points, but then again, you've got Denver's fantastic defense. So
right.
it's kind of, an intriguing game, and I guess that's why the line movement has been what it is. If you look at the total, same kind of situation. It's kind of like 46.5. It seems like a high total for, Denver team with the defense that they have. But then again, Atlanta's got that high-powered offense right now. My wager count is almost 2-1 favoring the over. Not much of a surprise, but I've got decent two-way action in terms of looking at the money and stuff like that. So I have what we call bigger bets on the under for sure.
Right.
Those came at like under 48, 47.5, 47. We're down to 46.5 right now. So yeah, I've got respectable money on the under again. 48 and 47 is where that came, and more public money driving the over, which is no surprise.
All right, Brent. So now let's talk about notable sharp action from the rest of NFL Week 5. And I'll tell you what, Brent, last week, my partner and I, Mike Brenner, we both loved the Steelers. You told us that Casey took sharp action at 6. When we did our call, it was down to 4.5 or 5. It wound up closing at 3.5. So I'm assuming that there was a big sharp action that came in on game day at KC. They were wrong. We were right. No two ways about it. It wasn't even close, Brent, although the Sharps have been doing well overall in the NFL this year. But that does happen. You think the Sharps in retrospect, were right anyway on the KC bets?
The lesson to be learned, Peter, is not to second guess you.
Uh-huh. They're not to second guess me. That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
But we talked about that game when the line, during we did the show, line was up to it was 6 when the Sharps came in. We did the show, I think it was like around 4.5 or 4. Line dropped all the way down. There was like 3.5 and 3s out there by kickoff. And it was definitely one side in terms of the Sharps all over the Kansas City Chiefs, and the public all over. Well, I'm not going to say squares because you are Pittsburgh, but let's just say lots of people were betting Pittsburgh as well. And of course, you saw Pittsburgh just absolutely crushed them. So, but it's the whole thing with eggs and omelets. I mean, you got to break some eggs to make them omelets, and if you long term, you play a large volume of games and you hit 58% or even 57%, you're going to make money long term. So you don't have to win every game, that's for sure.
All right. Well, we might see the same. Maybe we'll see the same thing this week. I'm sorry.
I was going to say sharp action because you mentioned Pittsburgh. Let's jump straight to that game.
Oh, okay. Let's jump to it. I was going to say we might see the same thing in the Pats-Browns game this week. But what can you tell us about Pittsburgh this week?
I can tell you that Sharps are on the Jets. That's what I'm going to tell you. Sharp action did come on the Jets, and it was +7.5, -0.5. Right now, we're still at 7.5, dog 15 now on this number. And again, it's a situation with when I look at the wager count, again, 10-1 in favor of Pittsburgh. Big count in favor of Pittsburgh. My money is almost 3-1 favoring the Jets, though. So
wow.
I've got a number that kind of is working for us in that the public's not afraid to lay the 7.5 with Pittsburgh at all, as I've already shown. And I've got sharp action on the Jets. Now they took the Jets +7.5, -0.5. I can stay on 7.5 and use dog 15 or 7.5 flat right now, and end up pretty balanced probably. So right now, I do have more money on the Jets, but way more wagers on Pittsburgh, so I expect that to even out. But the Sharps definitely came on the Jets +7.5, -0.5. Philadelphia and Detroit, just massive volume on this game as well. Philadelphia's on the road as a 3-point favorite. They're 3 -120 right now. That line actually had gone up to 3.5, but they're 3 -120 right now. Sharp action came in early on the week on the Eagles, so the Eagles -3, -110 was sharp. I've got probably about 3-1. I'm looking like almost like 3-1 in terms of my wager count favoring the Eagles. My money favors the Eagles as well, close to the same number. So pretty much one-sided in terms of the sharp action on the Eagles. If anything, I do have decent public money on Detroit, but right now Philadelphia -3, -110 was sharp. Atlanta, we talked about them. Cleveland, we talked about them. The San Diego Chargers, right now, San Diego Chargers are at Oakland this weekend. Oakland is -3.5, -0.5. Sharp action early came in on the Chargers +4, -0.5. So, I mean, it's interesting that Oakland kind of got a lot of love in terms of the futures market and stuff like that. They were kind of like a team that people were getting behind, finally. And at 3-1, looks like Oakland might have turned it around. But San Diego 1-3 on the road, still +4, -0.5 is where the sharp action came. So it's a half-point move and 10 cents juice, which is a pretty big move when you look at it. Cincinnati at Dallas. I've got Cincinnati as a 1.5 point favorite. They're actually -1.5, -115 on the juice. Sharp action came in on the Bengals when at a pick -115. So sharp action came on the money line when it was pick -115. The line's up to like -125 or -130 right now. So the Bengals at Dallas. And again, I've got, decent money back on Dallas, and that Dallas maybe will forever be America's team. So they're getting some support in terms of the public bets, but definitely sharp action on Cincinnati at a pick -115. And the last one, let's expect a good thing from a bad team. Giants +7 -05 with sharp. They're at Green Bay. That's the Sunday night game. So Green Bay is a 7-point favorite at home. Right now the line is -7 -05. So the Giants are +7 -115. But I did get sharp action on the Giants +7 -05. My wager count is almost 3-1 favoring Green Bay. No surprise at all. My money slightly favors Green Bay, but not much at all. Again, the bigger bets from the sharps on the Giants +7 -05. And no surprise with the total as well. I've got a count of almost, what are we looking at, like 8-1 favoring the over. And again, just public money driving the over. So Packers -7 -05 right now. Total is 47.5 for the sharps. They come on the Giants.
Brent from BetDSI, thanks so much. Talk to you next week for NFL Week 6.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SPR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.